Okay, that's better. Alright, let's just fix everything as best we can. Let's just get as much of this as possible. No. You are not getting on the table. Welcome to the stream, folks. How you doing? I apologize. We're a little funky this evening. This is not what I was expecting to do. So, but we are going to unbox and check out the very new studio series Bumblebee, and I'm excited for it because I don't know if you guys remember this, but in 2018 they gave us Studio Series 16, and take note, that wasn't a bad figure at all, but they gave us Studio Series 16, and this is what was presented to us at that. Yeah, so anyways, this is what's going on here. We're gonna unbox this Bumblebee right here, but yeah, I gotta. Firstly, it's almost been 10 years since this movie came out. Almost been 10 freaking years. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to unbox this thing here. So, I am excited. Oh, hey. That's different. I don't remember that being on the inside of these flaps. To which being said, Hasbro, why you going back on the designs here? Oh, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Truth? How you doing? So, how you doing? Sorry that you hate Truth. I'm sorry. So, but anyways, so I'm going to unbox that right there, and then we're going to take this box, and we are going to keep this box because this box is much better. So, anyways, oh, would you look at that? I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Let's see here. What other ones we got? Yep. That one there. That one there. Don't want to go too far on those. Oh, there we go. Whoa, hello. What is up, Lucid Dreams? How you doing? What's up? What's up? Alright, we can pop this out right here. And then we can snip this off as well. Oops. I have to pick that back up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hold on. Gotta find where that went. There it is. Found it. Found it. Found it. Alright, so the only person who's reviewed this guy is somebody I really don't care for, and that'd be Prime versus Prime. So don't say, have you checked his video out? Because yes, I have checked it out. Not because I want to, out of necessity, not obligation. So yeah. No, I don't believe so, but I do have Studio Series 101 sitting right here. The reason why I don't think it's a retool is specific, and it is definitely not a retool specifically, is because if you look at the feet, these feet are definitely not what is supposed to be there. And also the legs transform so much more differently than this one does. So I can tell you that that one is much more different. So, but firstly, give me just a moment here. I need to clean up all of this and get all these dust mites off my thing. Oh, thanks for liking. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, yeah, they do look similar. Specifically because I do believe this head sculpt is the same. I am not 100% certain of that, but I do believe they are the same head sculpt. So, and this gun and the knife are exactly the same as well. So, it's not going to be too dissimilar from all of that. And apparently, you're supposed to shove it onto him like this. I don't understand why you would do such a thing. That's ridiculous and looks ridiculous, because you're supposed to put it on his hands like this, but unfortunately, because this is Hasbro, we have to retool everything and redo everything. So this is, yeah, the accessories are not right. No, they are not. They are not right. They are trash. Because now you have to hold it like this in order for any of that sculpting to do that. Because if you look at it from the inside, then everything is just, it just Yeah, I'm not real too thrilled about that. That is a massive problem right there. Okay, maybe not massive problem, but it is a problem. So yeah, and I will say this about this Bumblebee is that they actually bothered to paint these, but still gave us this problematic here. So unless maybe this is the wrong hand that this is supposed to go on, I could be just putting it. I put it on the wrong hand. That's the catch. That's the catch. That's the catch right there. That's the catch. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Ooh, that's another problem. Not real too thrilled about that. Just was coming undone, and I'm not ready to transform it yet. So, but anyways, no, I used the wrong hand on this. But the knife should be universal. So, but yeah, no, this is supposed to go here. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Not too bad, but not perfect. It looks good, but I have a few nitpicks, and I'm gonna go over them in when we actually. I have a few nitpicks just looking at it right here, but at the same time, I do appreciate this much more than Studio Series 16. Holy cow! This pulls off the concept art much more accurately than that one did. Holy cow! This one actually pulls off the figure, and it looks like it could have actually just jumped off the screen. The other one looked like Hasbro's attempt at trying to make it look good, and they just failed. This actually looks like they let their design team cook for a little bit. So I can't complain about this. Yeah, plastic's not too bad. It's not too bad, not too bad, not too bad at all. So, yeah. But I am going to remove these because I do want to give this transformation a crack. Now, let's get this out of his hand. Ugh. I don't like the way that that was so tight. I really do not like the way that that was really tight. That kind of scares me. So, it actually looks like we have a full beetle mode this time. And not, that folded up, crumpled mess of... This looks a little bit more manageable of a backpack than the garbage that they gave us the first time around. So this actually, folds in, and it folds in properly, and it, granted there's a little bit of a hollow space, little bit, but it's not too bad so far. Yeah, but anyways, let's pull these bits open here, and then we'll just get this pit started. So, yeah, this figure looks already, ooh, and even the transformation looks pretty darn good too. I'm not complaining about this one bit at all. So, not to mention, this is the forgotten figure from the first round of 2025. So, if you guys did not know, this figure was actually skipped out on, not once, but twice. And what do I mean by twice? This figure got skipped out on twice. It was supposed to be released actually at the end of 2024, and they just didn't. I don't know if they didn't know what to do with it, or if they just didn't have the right enough resources because they were ending the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. I don't know what the whole deal was with them, but from what I understand is that this was supposed to come out at the end of 2024, along with right around the beginnings of 2025, and it just never showed up. It just never showed up in stores, which bugged a lot of people, myself included, because I was really hoping that this guy was going to show up alongside Hatchet, Double Punch, Ape Link, freaking, like I thought it was going to show up again, like right up against all of those, and when it didn't show up on shelves, I was like really disappointed. So, all right, so now I gotta get these legs back together here. The transformation doesn't look too bad. Hey, what's up, Truster Tube? What's going on? What's going on here? So, yeah, so I do like the way that this looks, but no, it actually was this was the forgotten figure of the beginning part of 2025 and end of 2024. So if you see this thing, you're definitely like in the ballpark of pretty darn you're in the ballpark of pretty darn lucky to find it if you can find it. So, to which, by the way, if you guys are looking for this and you live in the United States, this is available right now at Walmart.com. I purchased this from Walmart. Granted, I paid a little bit of a markup for shipping, but it wasn't too bad. Shipping usually costs a little bit extra, so I'm not going to complain terribly too much on that front. However, this back section, I'm not real too thrilled about. This is not looking too good right now for this. What's going on? Why are we having some problems with this? Yeah, this rim section on the car, I'm not, or this wheel well section. Okay, so that goes there, and this is supposed to connect in there to make sure that all of this stays put. Let's make sure we straighten all the wheels back out again there. All right, so now we can begin to accordion all of this up and make sure all of this straightens out one more time. So this is the new one. This is the brand new one. This is the brand spanking new one that is being released or should be released by everybody. This is the brand new one, I promise you. So the old one, the Beetle mode was just, to get from robot mode to Beetle mode was horrendous. And not to mention, it was just not a good fit. I really don't think that mold specifically worked for that particular Bumblebee. And the reason I say that is because I don't feel like that Bumblebee really got much of a chance to really get a design and get some love and get much around it, because I mean, they had to push it for the movie. So I mean, I totally get that, but at the same time, don't push stuff if you don't know if it's going to work out too well yet. And unfortunately, with that I feel like that's what happened with Studio Series number 16. So, yeah. Let's get all of this straightened back up. Come on. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good mold. I just don't like the other one. So, yeah. Well, that's not good. That certainly wasn't good. Let's see if we can pop that back in. Not real too thrilled about that. Am I forgetting a step? Is there something I missed? Is this supposed to cover his face or something? Did I miss this? I don't know. Now I have to look at the instructions, because now I'm questioning my sanity. So now we'll just pop that back on. I usually don't go for the instructions, but this time I might have to. Alright, so, alright, to get you from robot to Beetle, you're seeing a rare moment from Thomas Anna. So, those have to click into place first. Okay. So the arms are supposed to click into place first, apparently. Alright, that goes there. That goes there. That goes on there. This is supposed to stay put. Things are certainly better, but they're definitely getting worse. They're getting better, but getting worse. Like, how do you solve a figure's problem of being too much of a flim? Okay, that all worked out. Now I just need to make sure that this door, there we go, that stays there. And then we can get this one pegged right back in here. There we go. Goes like that. All right, so now well, that is... That's it. That's what I got to do. So, all right, so pop those in right there. Pop that in right there. Hooray, hooray, hooray. There we go. There you go. There he is in his Beetle form. Hooray. And this is how it's supposed to go. Ah, that did not look right from a lot of angles, and it still doesn't look right from a lot of angles. However, it does move freely. So it does move freely. That is one thing I will say I'm very proud of and pleased of with this figure, is that it does move freely. So now $1 million question for me is where do we stick all of the weapons? So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I don't think there is a place for these things. I genuinely don't think there is a place. So this is where that weapons drawer and everything of that nature comes into play with all you collectors out there. If you guys know what I'm talking about. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody and most collectors usually have a drawer full of accessories for every single Transformer they've ever owned. So yeah. But this is a definite repaint of the Rise of the Beasts mold, or at least from what it looks like to me. So the only difference from what I'm noticing is that this bit right here has been remolded, so that way I'm gonna assume it can plug into his ass. So you can take that one right there and it'll just go right there for the moment. But I'm gonna assume that's the main reason why, and clearly the accessory of the blade is exactly the same. So, yeah. Now, now I'm going to predict this. They're going to use something similar to this for a Bumblebee movie version of this guy, because as y'all remembered in the Bumblebee movie, to which, by the way, it's been almost 10 years, so you guys need to, yeah, definitely need to go do that. So, but the point is that um, they're going to take this version of Bumblebee. They're going to take this type of mold, and then they're going to apply it to this, and then they're going to take all of the workings and stuff on top of this guy, and then they're going to basically take this skeletal mold, throw all of this stuff onto this guy, turn it into the actual version of that, and then we're going to get two versions of it. We're going to get one that's going to be that's going to be Bumblebee movie, which is going to be the rusty paint job, and then we're going to get the second version of it, which is going to be the cleaned up version, and or the better version of him later on in the first version of him in Rise of the Beasts. So, or it will be a battle damaged version of it. So that is what I am foretelling here. So yeah. Now, if anybody was wondering, we do have a quite extensive Bumblebee movie and Bumblebee collection going on in said video or said stream here, to which things are going for that. So, also, I am selling my Cybertron Metroplex, so I will be yeah, I will be I will be showing off that here in the next couple of days, but I've got an offer for it Friday, so we'll see what happens Friday. If Friday comes and the guy doesn't send me the offer, then I won't be upset. But, if he does send me the offer, then I will definitely be selling it. That's for sure. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm actually kind of like waiting for them to touch the Age of Extinction stuff. So, like, once they touch Age of Extinction, that's when, things are about to get really, really interesting. So, when I say Age of Extinction, I'm talking about specifically the figures that really haven't gotten released yet. Now, this guy right here was supposed to be released in the beginning of 2025, and like I said, he was forgotten. I feel like Hasbro literally just showed us this mold, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it early 2025, and then the election happened, and then they were like, well, now we're gonna just hold it back. We're just gonna release this in June. Y'all are gonna now have to wait. See ya. And that was pretty much what happened. And I feel really gypped that happened, because I don't feel like this is going to hit stores. I feel like this is probably going to be an online exclusive, and I feel like it's probably going to end up staying either a Walmart and or an Amazon exclusive. Because you can also order this on Amazon. I just don't think it's worth it. So it's all good, man. See you later. You have a good night there, Truth. I appreciate it. So, anyways, that being said, if you do join in on the live stream and you do comment, you do get shouted out at the end of the live stream. So you guys got to chat. You guys got to chat with us here. You guys got to share it, chat it up. Got to get everything ready to go. So, hey, if you can get all this stuff done, or maybe not get all the stuff done. That's where my tongue stops working. But the point is that if you can, you know, if you can share this up and you can, chat up a storm in there, you definitely get shouted out at the end. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I have a brain fart too. So it's a problem sometimes. So, anyways. We'll keep the stream going for maybe another few minutes here, and if we get nobody, then no big deal. So I do believe you should. I believe if you have the first version of Bumblebee, I think it's. I think if you have the first version of Bumblebee, it's a good version to buy. But I think if you have, if you have no version of the Bumblebee movie Bumblebee, then absolutely this go for it. It's definitely worth the buy. It's definitely worth the. I think I paid $33 plus shipping. So, but yeah, no, this guy definitely was worth it. I had to get rid of my other one because this one just I couldn't say no. It was one of those figures that I'm like, if I have to get the new version that looks actually animation accurate to this CGI model here, to which they said that they based the first model off the concept art. If you're gonna base it off of concept art, this is what it should look like. So, but I definitely feel like if you don't have the Bumblebee movie version of Bumblebee, this is definitely a version for you to get. That is definitely something for people to aspire to get a hold of. Another thing that I would also suggest, if you manage to also have a hold of this as well, is also the Studio Series Shatter and the Studio Series Dropkick. So I also foresee this becoming a 3-pack and or a 4-pack if they decide to throw Blitzwing in there. So I foresee this being a 4-pack with Blitzwing in the future when this movie eventually turns 15 years old. Because as you can clearly see, they've been doing the 15th anniversary packs pretty darn well, which is what they'll do is they'll just pick a couple scenes from the movies of all of the of the movie specifically. And unfortunately, with Bumblebee movie, these three or those four, excuse me, Shatter, Bumblebee, and Dropkick are unfortunately the only characters that really show up in the movie aside from the first 5 to 6 minutes of the movie, to which if we're going to really count Cybertron, then, everybody showed up. But if we're not going to count Cybertron, it was mainly Shatter, Dropkick, Bumblebee, and Blitzwing who showed up in the movie, had prominent roles in the film, and actually showed some pretty damn badassery. So that's what I have. That's what I think is going to end up happening and what they're going to end up doing for the 15th anniversary of the Bumblebee movie. I'm actually really stoked to see if that's what they do. I really hope that that is the case of what they do. So, yeah. But, anyways, we'll keep it going for maybe another couple minutes here. But so, if anybody decides to join in and comment on us, that is great. If you don't, no big deal. So, yeah. So, anyways, this I'm gonna end this here. So, anyways, thank you to Hate Truth. Don't also thank you to Lucid Dreams. Also, thank you one more time to Trustertube who showed up. So, yeah, yeah. So, anyways, also thank you to all of them as well. So, also thank you to, do not forget also to check out Zaga the Animator, Kitten Cat, Triple Nine, all them fun peoples. So, yeah. So, anyways, if you do decide to comment or anybody else decides to comment, do it before I end the video here in the next minute. So, please do. But, anyways, I think this figure's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So, Anyways, this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to subscribe to the main channel. Do not forget to check out the live streams when we do them. They're sporadic right now because of the way that uh, the figures are getting released. However, within the next couple of months, I do have a good feeling that there's going to be some drops and some releases. So hopefully it will be the case that we end up getting some good stuff. So anyways, this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the main channel. Do not forget to check out the playlists and the Transformers playlist. And do not forget to hit that notification bell over somewhere along the sides here. Because if you do that, then you will be notified about this dude's review and also any other future reviews we have coming and other future videos we've got going on. So, this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick with a Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, Alexander Rothschild, and, oh, let's throw this person under the bus here, Amshri Das as well. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.